Let me ask you a question. Are there certain people that you admire? Merong bang mga tao na talagang hinahangaan mo sa buhay? For sure, merong different reasons why we admire certain people. Maaring sa iba because of their status in life, maybe for some because of their appearance, maybe for some because of their success, their accomplishments. There are certain people that we really admire. I remember when we were in high school as seminarians, panahong yun meron kaming Latin every year. We really admire one seminarian. Why? Kasi ang galing-galing niya na mag-memorize. No? Because when you talk of Latin, talagang memorization niyaan ng vocabulary. Yung seminarya na yun, isang basa pa lamang niya ng libro, kabisado niya na yung vocabulary. That's why during study period, lahat kami hirap na hirap mag-aral. And when we look at him, ano ang kanyang ginagawa? Natutulog sa kanyang study table. Talagang ang sabi namin, sana lahat tayo ganoon kagaling, katalino. There are certain people we admire because also of their success. Walang masama when we admire certain people. Sometimes, because we admire them, we are inspired also by them. Kaya tayo mismo nagsusumikap para maging katulad natin sila. Pero saan nakakaroon ng problem? Kapag yung admiration turns into jealousy or envy. Kasi yung jealousy or envy can destroy not only other people, but even us. Kapag yung paghanga ay naging inggit, pwede ang makasira sa atin at sa ating kapwa. That's why some people, because they are jealous of others or envious of others, they destroy other people's reputation. Talagang sisiraan sa trabaho, sisiraan sa kanyang pamilya, sisiraan sa social media. Kasi yung admiration turned into jealousy. Kaya naging very destructive. And I think that is also what we see in our readings today. If you notice in our first reading from the book of Numbers, we were told that there were certain elders who received the Spirit from God. And because of that, they were able to preach. And they received the Spirit of God when they were gathered in the tent. But the problem is that there were two elders who received the Spirit but were not in the tent. Sino yung dalawang elders na yun? Ang sabi nung ating first reading, binanggit yung pangalan dyan, Eldad at Medad. And because of that, someone saw them preaching even if they were not present in the tent. So ano ang ginawa nung young man na ito? He went to Moses and told Moses, Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp. And when Joshua heard about it, he said to Moses, Lord, my Lord Moses, stop them. Let us not forget who Joshua is. Joshua is like a son to Moses. Parang magulang ang tingin ni Joshua kay Moses. And we understand where is he coming from. He was very protective of Moses because he wants that everybody would recognize Moses as their leader. Kaya lahat dapat kay Moses lamang. Pero when we look at our first reading, what if tayo si Moses and someone had said to us, merong gumagamit ng Espiritu ng Panginoon to prophesy. Pero yung mga taong yun, they were not present in the tent. If you are Moses, how would you feel? Ano yung magiging reaction mo? Pay attention to the response of Moses in our first reading. Moses told them, are you jealous for my sake? Would that all the people of the Lord were prophets? Would that the Lord might bestow His Spirit on them all? Para bagang hindi bothered si Moses. Parang hindi threatened si Moses. Parang okay kay Moses ang lahat ng mga nangyayari. In fact, tuwang-tuwa pa nga si Moses that there were other people who were also prophesying like them. Kasi minsan, tayo ang napakalakas ng reaksyon kapag may mga nangyayaring bagay tungkol sa ating mga mahal sa buhay. Pero minsan, yung talagang mismong may katawan, okay lang naman sa kanila. Yung talagang merong may kapangyarihan, sila naman ay hindi talaga threatened by the presence of other people. Kaya nga we admire Moses in our first reading. Hindi nagkamali ang Panginoon sa pagpili kay Moses. Why? Because Moses was very mature in his response. Kasi pwede namang sabihin ni Moses, teka lang, dapat yung lamang present in the tent ang magpa-prophesy. Teka lang, dapat lahat dadaan sa akin. I should know everything happening in that area. Teka lang, dapat everybody would ask permission from me because I am your leader. Si Moses, walang ganoong yabang. Why? Because at the very beginning, Moses knows that everything comes from God. And if everything comes from God, God also has the freedom to give that power, to give that authority to whomever He wants. Kung yan ang paalaala sa atin, may mga pakakataon ba that we are also threatened by the presence of certain people in our community? Lalo na kapag yung ating thinking is we have the sole monopoly of power. Kapag yung ating thinking, tayo lamang yung tinawag ng Panginoon, tayo lamang yung pwedeng gamitin ng Diyos. And it is also what we have seen in our gospel, almost the same. Because in our gospel, Joshua, of course, was not there. But John, the beloved disciple, was there. And John was the one who approached Jesus and said to Jesus, "Teacher, we saw someone driving out demons in your name, and we tried to prevent him because he does not follow us." Parang parehong-pareho ang nangyari in our first reading and in our gospel. Ando doon yung nagmamalasakit na nagsusumbong sa kanilang mga mahal sa buhay. But like Moses in our gospel, Jesus was not bothered. Jesus was not threatened by the presence of certain people driving out evil spirits using His name. Ano ang sabi ni Jesus? Like Moses, do not prevent them. There is no one who performs a mighty deed in my name who can at the same time speak ill of me. Siguro magandang ating tingnan. Kung tayo si John, how would we feel? Ako na nga ang nagmalasakit, ako pa ang napahiya. Kala ko pa naman matutuwa ka sa aking ginawa. Pero ano ang sinasabi diyan ni Jesus? Do not prevent them. We should also be happy for these people who also had been used and called by God. I think looking at our readings, there are 3 invitations coming from God in today's readings. 3 M's. The first M is be mature. Because a mature person will not destroy others. A mature person will never be insecure. A mature person knows that he or she does not have the monopoly of grace nor of power. At yan ang unang ating hilingin sa Panginoon, that as followers of Jesus, sana bigyan tayo ng grace of maturity. Kasi wala naman talaga tayong monopoly of the call. Wala tayong monopoly of grace. Wala tayong monopoly of power. If power, if grace, if authority, they all come from God, then God has freedom to give all these things to whomever He wants. Lahat lang tayo tumatanggap sa Panginoon. First, be mature. Kasi kapag tayo immature, ang ating laging tingin sa ating kapwa, threat. Ang ating lingin lagi sa ibang tao, kalaban. At yung mga tao na nakasucceed sa kanilang buhay, yun ang ating pilit na sisirain sa iba. First M is be mature. Second M is be merciful. Because in our gospel, Jesus told the disciples, anyone who gives you a cup of water to drink, because you belong to Christ, amen, I say to you, will surely not lose his reward. Yung ginamit na example ni Jesus, napakaganda. Giving a cup of water. Something that can be done by anyone. Hindi mo kinakailangan maging sobrang yaman to give a person who is thirsty a cup of water. You don't need to run sa seat sa ating government and have power or position simply to give a cup of water to a person in need. Ano ang sinasabi diyan? If you are really sensitive and at the same time merciful, you could really help someone in need. Kung talagang gusto, kung talagang nasa iyo ang malasakit, gagawa ka ng paraan para maging mahabagin at mawain sa iyong kapwa. Ito yung paalaala sa atin. Sometimes, we could say that we are followers of Jesus. But the question is, are we also merciful to other people like Jesus? Sabi nga po ni Pope Francis, Jesus is the face of the Father's mercy. Siya yung mukha ng awa ng Panginoon. Simpleng tubig, kayang ibigay ng isang tao basta siya ay may malasakit sa kanyang kapwa na nangangailangan. Yan ang pangalawang M, to be merciful. And we can only be merciful if we are always sensitive to other people. Sana bilang mga alagad, hindi lamang tayo nakafocus sa ating mga sarili, kung hindi sa ating paligid, sa ating kapwa, so that we would see the needs of others and respond to their needs. And the third M in our gospel is this, for us to be mindful also. Yung tayo ay maging maingat, to be mindful. Because at the end of our gospel, Jesus had said, whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for him if a great millstone were put around his neck and he were thrown into the sea. Bakit ganoon? Bakit kailangan talian, no, naggiling ang bato sa leeg at itapon sa dagat? Parang sinasabi ni Jesus, para hindi ka na lumutang pang-uli. No? Parang forever, nasa ilalim ka na lamang ng dagat. Why? So that you would not lead other people to sin. Maybe we have to be mindful also of our actions, of our words, of our behavior. Yung bang ating salita, yung bang ating kilos, ay talagang magandang halimbawa sa ating kapwa. Do these things lead other people closer or away from God? Kasi baka sa isang banda, we are not very aware na tayo mismo ang nagiging cause ng skandal sa ibang tao. That's why when we look at our gospel, Jesus wants us to be more conscious of our behavior, to be more conscious on our impact sa buhay ng ating family, ng ating kapwa, so that when they look at us, they would always see good examples to follow. Amen.